Hi, guys. Welcome back to That Psychology Podcast, and Merry Christmas if you're listening on the day. Or if not, then hello from the middle of the holiday season if you're catching up later. So today's Christmas, and I decided to do a spontaneous episode because it's a special time and we have many expectations about how we should feel, what we should do, and basically like what a proper Christmas is supposed to look like. And that can make a pretty good day feel like a bit too much. So I'm currently under my childhood desk recording this mini episode. Turns out it's the best place for sound. Like I'm literally under the desk and it's covered by the blankets. It's the best place for sound and for reflection also. So today I'm going to reflect about a good enough Christmas, what it is, and is it like the most magical one, most productive one, maybe most social Christmas ever, one where you don't force yourself to be on all the time and you let some things be imperfect, you allow the day to be what it is instead of what it's supposed to be in your head. So let's talk about the classic Christmas micro-trauma. You open a gift and you hate it. You had this little fantasy that they would absolutely nail it and like read your soul through a gift because they know you so well. And well, let's be honest, just be grateful is terrible advice if you've just opened a gift that makes you feel misunderstood. And psychologically, that disappointment isn't just about the gift. It's about a tiny, hidden, sad thought. Do you really know me? And there isn't a magic solution that stops disappointment from ever happening. Our brain is a real prediction machine that is constantly like trying to guess what will happen next and minimize surprise because it's trying to protect us, sometimes inefficiently. And come to think of it, holiday traditions are extremely prediction friendly. We have the same people, same food, same timing. And that predictability usually regulates us, right? We get less cognitive load, we have more sense of control until our internal prediction, the perfect gift, warm atmosphere, is not the reality. But you do have some power over what happens next. The healthiest first step is to admit to yourself that this freaking sucks. Like, you're disappointed. Like don't fake gratitude if you don't feel it. And socially, you don't owe everyone your raw, unfiltered reaction. Emotional honesty doesn't mean emotional nudity. With most people, a simple thank you for thinking of me is enough. You're acknowledging the intention, not pretending it's your favorite thing ever. The real solution lives outside that 5 seconds of unwrapping. If you can talk to this person later. Okay. And the real thing, okay. And the real solution lives outside that 5 seconds of unwrapping the gift. It's if you can talk to this person later about how gifts land for you. Can you move from surprise to wish lists? Maybe can you stop making gifts the main exam paper of, okay, do they really know me? And interestingly, one study showed that people reported less satisfaction and more negative effect when they received gifts than when they gave the gift to someone. I personally prefer to give than to receive, so I totally understand. And that brings me to my second point. We talk a lot about being generous at Christmas, but we almost never talk about the balance between giving and receiving. Good Christmas is not only about giving. And good Christmas is not only about giving. That can lead to burnout in the long run. It's about a healthy flow. You give, you receive. Okay. Good Christmas is not only about giving. That can lead to burnout in the long run. It's about a healthy flow. You give, you receive, and neither side feels like something bad. And you may think that you're only allowed to be here if you're useful, or you need to take care of everyone around you and you don't take care of yourself, or you're the one who fixes everything. So you may have some kind of role during Christmas. But the truth is that you are not responsible for other people's feelings and behaviors. And in the end, you're allowed to just be, and that is enough. And no concrete solution here. I just think it's good to think about it for a moment, like, what is your role during Christmas? What is the thought in the back of your head when you sit down with your family by the Christmas table? And then think more in terms of, okay, that's interesting that this is like my role, and not that, oh, I need to fix it right now. And with that, I want to invite you to be a Christmas bystander. Now, what does that mean? So imagine you're a curious person observing the room instead of asking, am I doing this right? And with that, I want to invite you to be a Christmas bystander. A very cool idea. I just came up with it. Now, what does that mean? Like, imagine you're a curious person observing the room. Instead of asking, am I doing this right? Am I fun enough? Or stuff like that. Just ask, what's actually happening here? And then notice who gravitates to the kitchen, who tells the same stories each year, or how do you usually handle an uncomfortable question? Do you make a joke? Do you go quiet? Maybe you escape to your phone? So a Christmas bystander is a person that just observes what's happening and not necessarily takes it personally, right? And this creates a tiny bit of distance from the whole stress, I think, when it's stressful, and turns it into calm observations rather than something personal. I think it's important to focus on moments and not outcomes of like every bad situation that happens during Christmas. So instead of rating your Christmas as good or bad as a whole, maybe we can ask, were there 2 or 3 small moments today that felt okay, kind or real? It could be something tiny, the smell of the food when you walked into the kitchen, a 10-second eye contact with someone you love, some quiet moment on the sofa when nobody needed anything from you. Those moments don't cancel out the hard parts, obviously, but they do make the day more three-dimensional than just success or failure. And maybe that's our new definition of a psychologically good enough Christmas. You notice a few real moments instead of chasing a perfect atmosphere every year. You let yourself be a bystander sometimes, just observing instead of performing. You give some, you receive some, and you're at least a little kinder to yourself than last year. So if you want, you can end today by asking yourself these 3 questions. What's one small moment from today, from Christmas Day, I want to keep? What's one thing I did that was kind to someone else? What's one way I was gentle with myself, even if it was something small? If you have answered these questions, I think your Christmas is already good enough. Even if the gifts were weird or, something else happened that you didn't like, the conversations might have been messy, and your feelings were all over the place. I think these 3 questions kind of do the job. And I'm really curious about your thoughts on this topic. I think it's a bit controversial because Christmas is obviously something very, I don't know. I think it's a bit controversial. But, again, okay. And I'm really curious about your thoughts on this topic. And if you want, you can share them with me in the comments. I'm always happy to hear what resonates with you. I wish you a Christmas full of balance. Okay. I'm really curious about your thoughts on this topic. And if you want, you can share them with me in the comments. And I'm always happy to hear what resonates with you. I'm really curious about your thoughts on this topic. And if you want, you can share them with me in the comments. I am always happy to hear what resonates with you. Yeah, that's it. I wish you a Christmas full of balance, peace, love, and respect. Merry Christmas.